Hey everyone, today's about vertical angles, so let's talk about what that is to begin with. Two angles that are non-adjacent and formed by two lines. So what does that mean? Well, if they're non-adjacent, they don't share a vertex or a wall. Think about an apartment building. If you share a wall with your neighbor, you're adjacent to your neighbor. Okay, these will not be next to each other. And you'll notice it's formed by two lines. To me, it looks like a big X on my page, right? Two lines make a big X, like in this picture right here with the scissors. So looking at this picture, angle 1 is vertical to angle 3, and angle 2 is vertical to angle 4. And the interesting news, well, at least interesting for me, hopefully interesting for you, is that vertical angles are congruent. So let's write that down. Vertical angles are congruent. So if angle 2 was 50 degrees, angle 4 would be 50 degrees. If angle 3 was 100 degrees, angle 1 would be 100 degrees. Okay, so they are congruent to each other. They're across from each other. They usually look like they're in a big X like this. So with that being said, let's talk about this. So two adjacent angles. So they do share a vertex. Look here. And they do share a side, like a little, if you shared an apartment, if you're in an apartment building with someone sharing a wall. So these two are adjacent, but they're fancy adjacent angles because together they form a straight angle. So they add up to be 180 degrees. So they are supplementary. A linear pair, two adjacent angles that are 180. So be careful though, because like if I had 20 degrees here and I had this angle that's 160 here, do you notice that these are not adjacent? Do you notice that they don't share a wall? They're not little neighbors in an apartment building, right? So these are not a linear pair. Okay, they're not a linear pair. They're just supplementary. To be a linear pair, you have to be adjacent. All right, so let's move it down here. Determine whether the labeled angles are vertical angles, a linear pair, or neither. So looking at this first one, 1 and 2 are adjacent to each other and they form 180. So this is going to be a linear pair. Done with that one. Let's look at C. Let's skip over to C. We're going to start with C. We're going to skip B. So on this one, 5 is across from 6, so these are vertical. So what I would like you to do is look at B. B can be tough, but look at B, and I want you to try this one on your own. Try that one on your own, bring it to class. Now, if you want to, you could go ahead and you could try it now, pause the video, try it now, or you could just do it at the end once we're done with the entire video. Totally up to you when you want to do it. Just make sure you have it done before you come back to class. Let's go down here. Find the measure of angle 1, 2, and angle 3. So looking at number 1, I like to attack those vertical angles first. So if this is 28 degrees, then angle 2 is also 28 degrees. Once you attack those vertical angles, then if you wanted to, you can look at your linear pairs. So look at this right here. This from here to here is 180. I'm going to write that down algebraically. So 28 degrees plus angle 1 equals 180 degrees. And if I subtract 28 from both sides, I end up getting that angle 1 is 152 degrees. Okay, so we've got one more angle to find. What is it? It's angle 3. So if angle 1 is 152 degrees, angle 1 and angle 3 are vertical. So that must mean angle 3 is also 152 degrees. So take your time with these. Write on your picture. I know some people resist writing on their pictures in geometry, but please write on your picture because it helps a lot. Let's look at number 2. I'm going to attack the vertical angle first. So 124 and angle 2 are the same. So we're done with that one. Angle 2 is 124 degrees. Now let's look at the linear pair that's going on here. What about this and this from here to here? That's 180 degrees, correct? So we could say that 124 plus angle 3 equals 180 degrees. And if we subtract 124 from both sides, we end up getting 56 degrees for angle 3. Now let's go back to our picture and look at it. If angle 3 is 56 degrees, angle 1 is the vertical angle from angle 3. So angle 1 must also be 56 degrees. Notice I wrote all over my picture. I really think that helps. So what I want you to do is I want you to try, ooh, I'm writing real thick there. That is a thick marker. Okay, so try number 3 and have that done and bring that into class. You could pause it, do it now, you could do it at the end, whatever works for you, just have it done when you come to class. All right, let's keep going. Find the value of the variable. Okay, so now we're throwing some algebra up in here. And if we look at number 4, what kind of angles are they? This angle and this angle. They are vertical. And if they're vertical, they are congruent to each other. So that means 2r plus 3 equals 89. What do we do to both sides to solve? Subtract the 3. So if we subtract 3, we get 2r equals 86. And what would our final step here be? To divide by 2. So if we divide by 2, r is 43. And we're done. Let's actually look at number 6. I want to talk about that one because it's a little different. Look at these angles. What kind of angles are they? We've learned 2 types today. Vertical angles and linear pairs. So these are adjacent and they add to 180, so they're a linear pair. So we can say then that 15t plus 20t plus 5 equals 180 degrees. Combine your like terms. 15t plus 20t is 35t. And then bring everything else down. And then from there, we can subtract 5 from both sides. So if we subtract 5 and subtract 5, we end up getting 35t equals 175. And now if you take 175 and you divide it by 35 on your calculator, you should get t equals 5. And we're all done. What I'm going to have you do is have you try number 5 here and bring that into class. So again, you can do it now after and pause it, or you can do it at the end, but just try that out, do the best you can, and bring that to class, and we will review it once you come in. Let's move down here. In the past, I've had plenty of students struggle with this problem, and the reason why is because, one, they don't write on their picture, and I don't know why so many people press their brains to do stuff like in their head instead of writing on the picture. And number 2, they're not nice and neat, so they can't kind of follow their own work. Let's start with vertical angles first. If this is 44 degrees right here, then the angle vertical to it is angle 2. So angle 2 must be 44 degrees. Let's write that down. There's another vertical angle in this picture though. The other vertical angle is going to be the 106 degrees. So if this is 106 degrees, angle 3 is vertical, so angle 3 is 106 degrees also. So let's write that down. There we go. Now we have to worry about angle 4 and angle 1. So what you want to do is look at your picture here, and let's find some linear pairs. So check this out. That whole thing there, going back to angle addition, we're going back to angle addition, that whole thing right there adds up to be 180 degrees. So I'm going to write that down. 44 degrees plus 106 degrees plus angle 1 equals 180 degrees. If we add 44 and we add 106 together, what do we get? We get 150. So 150 plus angle 1 equals 180. And then we have to solve. So we'd have to subtract 150 on both sides. And when we do that, angle 1 is 30 degrees. But you're not done. There's one more angle that you haven't told me yet. Angle 4. So if angle 1 is 30 degrees, angle 4 is vertical from that angle. So angle 4 is also 30 degrees. Okay? So make sure you have all this done, especially those ones I asked you to try. Bring those to class, and we will touch base with you then. Have a good one.